Hi everyone, I'm Grattles, and welcome to an episode of Satisfactory. It's a little different, right? We're doing something different today. So anyway, my sharer of a Discord and content creator, Gemzen, made up this challenge. It's a 10x10 challenge, and my subscriber slash Discord follower, Aewl, he decided to do the challenge. And what a task it is. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm going to be joined by Aewl and Gemzen to discuss and talk about this challenge and, kind of the challenges he faced making this and just kind of walking through this tour. It's a tour of the 10x10 challenge. So let's go ahead and get into it. And by the way, Aewl did say he would share this saved file in the Discord, so the link's in the description below. Come on, check the Discord out. We're very much into all games, not just Satisfactory. And yeah, we are willing to help, talk, share, everything. So yeah, come on, check the Discord out. Get some saved files, whatever you want. We have blueprints in there as well, but today's all about the challenge. So like I said, let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so I'm here with Gemzen and Aewl, who did the 10x10 challenge and the one that created the 10x10 challenge. And here are the rules. Aewl, would you like to go over what were your rules and what were Jake's rules?
Well, Jake's rules were you got to build on a 10x10 foundation. All machines must be inside the foundation, including the lifts, pipes, and elevators. Only miners, extractors, train stations, and truck depots can be built outside the 10x10. Then I added in prep work allowed starter factory to complete tier 1 and 2. Only rods, screws, plates, wires, cable, and concrete allowed in starter factory. That gets you to the point where you can actually build everything. My other rule was no hand feeding the space elevator. You see I've got lifts going, or conveyor belts going to space elevator. And last, just my personal thing, 100% efficiency preferred.
Yeah, which I don't like, but that's all right.
Yeah, not everybody likes that, and it is all 5 phases.
So basically, we have to build this whole thing on a 10x10, and you can only go vertical. That's basic it. So yeah, you want to bring us back to the beginning and show us how you started.
Jump down all the way to the ground.
Whoa!
Don't die.
Ooh! Wow, this is pretty high up.
536 meters in height.
Wow.
It's impressive.
It is. Wow.
Oh, you guys jumped way out there.
So you built the starter base to kind of get your foundations going and everything else. And then
if you'd look up.
Oh, that's... Oh, Jake, you're on my shoulders. Get off my shoulders, you crazy.
All right.
All right.
Basically, I have level 1 is the start of all my machinery. And below that, I have a train station and what I call my home depot.
Oh, let's check out the Home Depot.
All right, so let's just drop down.
Okay.
Go in one of the doors.
All right.
And
wow.
Over here on the right is I have storage with 16 dimensional depots.
This is really clustered together.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Yes, it is clustered. That's the thing that throughout this entire build, it was kind of a logistical nightmare. Trying to get the belts to fit in,
stuck.
everything is cramped, but
stuck
there
with
is no clipping.
This is quite impressive that you fit this much in 10x10. Yeah,
Yep.
this little space. This is insane.
So if we go upstairs, and actually on the dimensional depots, it's set up that if they fill up, then they'll overflow to the center and go out to the back and up to a sink. So
And these are
that's
your
why-
biomass burners, huh?
Yeah, that was my original biomass burners. I put them in here, and I did take out the conveyor belts in between them. I was going to put something here and then decided not to, so I never rebuilt that.
Okay.
But yeah, I did have those going until I didn't need anymore. So if you want to go outside and come out to the stairs, we can go to the train station.
Larry is DMing me and I can't get out. Can you
He
tell
said
me
this
what?
is a violation. We should be in recording.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There you go. All right, he
Shut
is
up,
on.
Larry.
So this is my one and only train station, and it's bringing in bauxite from the swamp.
Oh,
It is a push-pull system, and that's it. It's very simple. That's all I needed.
just to bring
Everything.
in. That's to make the aluminum and stuff. Yes.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. Wow, I got stuck in a train.
All right.
Okay.
Yep. So let's go ahead and go out, and we'll go up to the first level, and this is where I started everything.
I'm trying to find my way out. Hold on. There's a door here. I found it. All right. There we go.
Need to put the train station in the actual building.
I know, but I
he
went
made
ahead
his
and
own rule. He made his own rule. He made it harder, not easier. So.
Yeah,
Alright.
that is true.
So this is my basic starter factory that you would use. I'm making all the iron products that you need. And I've got copper smelters going upstairs to the next level. But I'm also making rotors, modular frames, and the smart plating over here.
Wow.
Okay, and the smart plating actually went up to the space elevator and was fed by a lift. And then every time I needed to go up, I kept taking down the space elevator, building up, and building another space elevator.
Wow.
Hey, well, I see clipping
Uh-oh.
right at your smelter.
No. Did I miss? Where?
See
Yes.
this,
The lift? Yeah.
Okay. Now
Yeah,
you're just
that's
getting
what I
very,
went
it's clipping. It's
That one we're
clipping.
just gonna go with.
It's
Yes, well-
clipping.
Well, technically, when you put these splitters on the lifts like this, that's clipping in itself. And I was like, okay with it, because there's no other way to get everything in here.
I do not know how
could've
you
turned them
kept
the other
track
direction.
of all this stuff.
It was
Wow.
not easy. I had to do a lot of signs here and there. If you come out to where I'm at over here on the outside,
Yeah.
I do have everything that's leaving this floor. And where it's
Oh, I like the signs.
Yeah. And I did it on both sides of this pillar, but I didn't do it on any of the other pillars. It was
This is time consuming.
yes.
Wow.
And if you look up, I've got them all the way up doing that.
Oh, I like that you have like iron plates going to the 19th floor, ingots to the 5th floor, telling you where it's actually going.
Yep.
Wow.
And the smart plating is
You
going
must
to
have
the
hated
11th
yourself doing this.
Wow.
I did. So if we go up the second floor, this is the second part of the starter factory. This is where the copper is, and also the concrete. And then I also added in the steel production on this floor. So I'm getting my iron plate or steel beams and steel pipe.
Wow.
I didn't have enough room to do the encased beams. They're up another level or two. So,
Wow.
all right.
This is quite impressive.
Okay.
Third floor?
Third floor is my coal generators. This is the power. All the power is in here, and this is also my encased beam.
Wow. Again, this is a lot.
I
Yes.
really like what you did with the smokestacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like that? I
I
use
love
vents
it.
for those. And if you look, we go up to one more level, you'll see how it looks on the other side up there.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. Nope, that's really cool.
That is really cool. It's a
Alright, this is
great
where-
use of space, too. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
And this is where I started doing the second phase with the automated wiring and the versatile framework.
Shoo.
And I've got motors up here being made also. They're going into dimensional depots up here. I think I used about 30 dimensional depots. So,
So I would
guess
say
some are cheaper.
what's interesting is that it's minimalistic, but not. I mean, you had to kind of be minimalistic as far as how much you could build from each item,
right.
but Like, wow. It's yeah, you squeezed a lot in here.
If you go and put a power line on, make yourself a power pole,
Yeah.
and take a look at the power,
Let's
and
see.
you'll see how much power I actually use for the entire build.
Where could we do that? Show me.
Where you at? I don't even know what level you're at. Are you
I'm
there you are.
hovering
Okay.
outside here.
All right, let me
I'll
go ahead
come
and
around.
grab one for you.
There we go.
I don't even know why that one's there. That one's bad.
23,566?
That's it.
Yeah. Wow.
I screwed that one up. Let me see. Down way.
Okay, what is Larry going on about?
He says you should do a Satisfactory No Highway series.
I should. Too bad that I don't really use highways in Satisfactory.
And if you look down, you see I've got conveyor belts. All my resources coming in, and then once they're in, they're inside the foundation all the way up.
I must say, I like your bridge. You did really well, like grounding everything and putting in your pillars. I mean, that's a lot of work. Oh man.
Insane.
Yeah, this is insane. And I see your power generators up here.
Yep, these are my turbo
Wow.
generators.
Wow.
So, and you look at the consumption line, you see how it's a little jagged and everything, and that's because of the quantum encoders, the particle accelerators, and I have one particle accelerator fully somersaulted, which consumes 6,000 megawatts, which
Wow.
is fully a quarter of the total power I'm producing.
Wow.
I like what
So-
you did with the smokestacks on these too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that it was really, I didn't do anything but just put it on there, and it worked out perfectly. So, alright, so up here, yeah, this is my compacted coal for not only the turbo fuel, but later on, rocket fuel. So,
I have one question for you though.
Yep.
Why do you have one fuel generator that's only fuel?
just the math. It didn't work
Okay.
out. And
Okay.
it's like, okay, so that one's actually, it's not, the quantity was not enough to do another one.
Okay.
And I could only fit 9 generators on a floor. If I'd used the outside edges, I probably could have used more, but could have squeezed in another 3 or 4.
Gotcha.
But since I'm
Okay, I
using the outside
literally
edge-
tapped out a second because I had to see who came in. And it's Fen.
Okay. Alright,
Alright.
so,
Shit yourself.
yeah, because I'm using the outside edge of all the foundations for my lifts, pipes, and everything else, that kind of actually restricted me to building machines in an 8x8 instead of a 10x10.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
wow.
crazy.
Yeah, this is insane.
And then
Absolutely.
up on level 8, we're up to the oil refineries where I'm making plastic and rubber.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Your power storage is really cool.
This is super cool.
So, and I did find out I didn't really need to make that much plastic because I used a bunch of alternate recipes and never used the plastic other than building.
You know,
There's not-
that's I found that recently to use alternative recipes for that, and it's been really good because I used to run out of plastic all the time, and now changing those recipes have helped a lot.
Right. So,
Wow.
where are you at? There you are. Yep.
I'm right in here.
Okay. And you see I've got some pipes running through. Those are for the aluminum.
This is power storage, huh?
Yeah, go on.
Hold
in if
on,
you
I gotta
want.
go in here. Wow.
Yeah.
Stop.
I actually needed that when I had to put up my rocket fuel. I needed this. Make
Stop.
sure nothing crashed. but there's 20 batteries in here.
Damn.
So
That is
takes you all
pretty
the way
cool.
through.
Wow.
And
All right, we're
up here.
going to the next.
Yep. And up here is where I was making my turbo fuel.
Just stop.
That actually went way down there to the turbo fuel generator. So we were going up
Oh,
and
so
down.
you?
a
Yeah, I was
lot.
gonna say you went actually backwards. You
Oh,
went.
yeah, went up and
ba-
down.
Would you
lot.
stop? You moron.
Okay. So this is my aluminum production, and it took a while, but I did get it to 100%.
Wow.
And I had to add those fluid buffers that are below us to make it work right. But it does work right, and all the aluminum scrap goes up to the next level where we process it.
All right, let's take a look.
Pipe work is crazy too.
It's clean though. It's nothing's really clipping. It's clean.
Oh, I did find something clipping.
You did, but very minimalistic.
That smelter, that was clipping, remember?
Yeah, that one, okay. So, anyway, I'm using the silica to make the iron ingots from the byproduct from the refineries for the aluminum things, and also the copper to make, adding all that in, adding the copper to make the aluminum sheets.
Wow.
That's all running through there, and I have dimensional decompose for both of them.
Nice.
So, and plus a sink.
This
I'm
is
getting,
so impressive. Ooh, you got 619 tickets. You almost up to 1,000.
Nice. Okay, so after I did that, I decided to do something different. For phase 4 and 5, after I completed phase 3,
Ooh, yes.
and I did that up here, getting the ADC is up here on the next level. This is where, and I also made my heavy modular frames, computers, and crystal oscillators in a dimensional depot.
Yep, I see that. Crystal oscillators are there. Here's your pipes. Wow.
Then I started on doing the rocket fuel. In between, that's where I decided to change things up. I figured out what was all the basics I need for phase 4 and 5. So after the first set of generators, that's where I start on making just the basics again. But this would take me all the way to completion of phase 5.
Oh, copper powder.
Yep, copper powder.
Ow, stop it.
And more ingots, and they're going up.
This is impressive.
This is super impressive. And I was going to ask Jake, what made you not want to do this anymore? Watching Aewl or?
Yeah.
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 It was
a logistical nightmare getting all these pipes and lifts and belts run. So,
well,
I
kudos
watched
because
Aewl
this
and I
was
realized
insane.
I would burn out of this really quick.
This was impressive. Just doing it though.
yeah, but I got 3 floors of rocket fuel, so that's pretty cool. That made me about 15,000 megawatts.
Oh
And we get to
wow.
the first floor that's actually not cluttered to the rocket fuel, just because I didn't need it.
Dang.
And above that is all the refineries to make the rocket fuel. And I'm doing the alternate polymer resin, and I'm sinking all the resin. So
How many floors did this end up being?
it ended up being a total of 32. But if you look at my labeling, it's only 30 because I didn't count the train station and Home Depot. I started
Okay.
so they're basically my subfloors.
Wow.
So we keep coming up. What am I getting hit by?
Larry, stop rattling me.
Yeah, okay. Jake?
Is he trying to kill you?
Yes,
I'm
he
not trying to
is.
kill you, I'm just zapping you a little bit.
Alright, so this is where I made the rocket fuel and the blenders here. I only needed 2. And that
Oh,
powers
nice.
all 27 of the generators.
Wow.
So you got your power exactly what you needed, basically.
Yep.
Pretty much. I went over by a couple thousand, but that's okay. So,
No, that's
Better
awesome.
more than less. Wow.
Just
and I was
pure
worried
efficiency.
about it, to be honest. It got all the way to the end before I was sure I had enough. So after that, that's when we start making, still making all the basics here.
Yeah, you got a bunch of screws and plates and
Yeah,
concrete.
these are all making the basics to complete these 4 and
This
5.
high up too. Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Okay.
See, you missed
And
a floor count here, by the way.
I got a heat sink.
You missed a sign over here for floors.
Which one?
On all the corners, I guess, for 20th floor. But I mean, you counted correctly.
I just missed putting it on there?
Yep,
Yep, I did. Dang it.
it's fine. I gotta give you crap.
Just copy paste and you're good to go.
Yeah, that was a pain in the butt because it copy paste go all the way around, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
do have the count proper, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
It really doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't.
Wow.
I just like to give you crap, so it's fine.
All right, so what I'm interested is what's Lowe's?
Okay, so Lowe's.
It's a
if we go
store.
in there, if you go on in,
Whoa.
it is basically the same thing as Home Depot, but it's only 8-dimensional depots.
Uh-huh.
And these are all the things that you need to build the advanced machines.
Time
Phase 4 and
crystals
5.
and oh yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Where's Menards?
So yep, kind of like a Menards.
No,
Yeah,
where is it? Where is Menards?
No, I didn't make a Menards. Sorry.
What the heck? How dare you?
It was just too. I was gonna make the Menards where the heavy modular frames, computers, and crystal oscillators were, but it was just too cramped. I couldn't make it work. So.
I can't believe
All right, and above the Lowe's, this is all phase 4 and 5 from here on out.
Oh wow. Okay. Crystal
we're talking-
you.
oscillators.
The crystal oscillator looks like
There's a bunch.
phase,
Yeah,
an earlier
I've got.
phase.
Yep, I've got. Well, I did make some earlier, but I still needed to make a bunch more for this part of it.
Assembly
And some more
directors up
computers.
here.
Yep.
Radio controls.
Yeah, this is where it really got funky.
Dang.
And I even have my versatile framework coming up here. So everything that got used below is still being brought up. So
How was it without a jetpack running up and down?
it was a nightmare at first, and then I got the jetpack, and that made it better. But it wasn't until I got to aluminum with the hover pack that it finally became a lot easier.
Yeah, I bet.
And I had to use the elevators a lot. In fact, let's go back down to where the Lowe's is. I want to show you something real quick.
Sure.
This is okay. Come over here to where the elevators are.
Okay.
You notice I've got 23rd floor upper level,
Oh yeah.
23rd floor lower level. Because if we go into the lower, let me call the elevator.
Okay.
And there's a reason why I had to make 2 elevators. There is a glitch where you can make your elevators a whole lot taller. And once we get up to the top, if you want me to demonstrate it, I can. I learned it from bits. But there's also a limitation on it. which-
Yeah, so you used
Yeah.
that for this to this point?
Yeah, this is about 382 meters tall right here.
So that was the
Yeah.
extensions as maxed out?
Yeah, but once you go in here, you'll notice that I'm using all 25 floor stops.
So you
That's
had
your
no
limitation.
choice.
I had to make another elevator up here. And the only way that you can actually put an elevator on top of another one is use that little frame floor in between,
Oh.
which is under the architecture, the frame floor,
Oh.
like this.
Yep, I'm trying to see if I could click on it, but... Yep, I got it. Frame floor right
Yep.
there.
I also had to do them on all 4 pillars. All
So
the
then
other
you
3
could
pillars
stack
to
the-
match it up.
Stack the
Yep.
elevators on the frame floor. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. So,
Interesting. That's cool, though.
yep.
It's
But that
amazing
was
how
a-
far you got up there. Oh, wow.
So eventually we get up here, come to the 26th floor. This is where I made the nuclear pasta. That's the one that I'm maxing out with the 6,000 power.
Oh, these things are huge too, the particle accelerators.
Yep.
Wow, okay. And singularity cells, whoa.
Yeah, I was wondering how you're gonna make this fit.
It works. It works nice.
Yep.
Biochemical sculptors.
Yep. And my dark matter residue to make the dark matter crystals. So
and the the excited matter. It's so silly. But yeah.
Yep. So, and then we get into the next to last floor, which is 4 machines. 3 particle accelerators, 1 manufacturer.
The dark matter crystals.
Yep. I got 2 of them making dark matter crystals and 1 making time crystals. And then the manufacturer makes my ballistic warp drive.
Actually, this is making diamonds.
Or diamonds, yeah, that's right, for the time crystals. It comes up, the oil comes up here, makes a diamond. It goes downstairs to make the time crystals.
Wow.
And then the final floor, manufacturing floor, is 3 quantum encoders. That's it. That's all you need.
Because you got the AI expanders, the neural quantum, and the superposition oscillators. Wow. All right. So, how long did it take you to start to finish?
By hours, I think it was 160 hours.
160 hours. It's not bad, actually.
About 20 to 30 hours was hunting for Mercer spears and summer sleuths because I needed a lot.
Yeah, hunting is always the standpoint to a lot of stuff. Jake, do you have any questions?
No, I asked all my questions while I was in there.
Oh.
You want to know how to extend the elevators higher than they are normally?
Sure, let's see that trick.
Alright, all you do is you click it on here, you press hold, you click, and click again. And it builds it 1 meter at a time. Thing is, it rebuilds the elevator every time you do it, though.
Oh.
Do it again. Jeez, actually, you don't have to barf so much. Holy moly.
Actually, because I'm not at the top, because this one was actually shorter than 192, we'll have to go up to the top and do it.
She's barfing so
right
much
now
silica.
It says maximum height. Okay?
Oh.
So up here it's red.
Yep.
Press hold, it turns blue. I click, press hold again and click, and there it goes. Now it goes.
And it'll rebuild the whole thing.
1 meter at a time. And like I said, the bottom one I built out to 382 meters, which is almost 100 meters. So I had to do that almost 100 times.
Well, that's patience.
Yeah.
And dedication, I must say.
Whoops, I hit my mic. This whole challenge was dedication and a lot of patience.
Absolutely, I can see that. Oh, man.
And running the lifts using the infinite lift trick, yeah, that was always fun.
Wow.
Especially before I had the hover pack.
Well, jeez, I
did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I would have got frustrated and quit, but yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well,
and I'm glad you did it because
insane.
I didn't want to anymore.
You know, Jake Gemzen, Jake, whatever. Jake Gemzen, whatever. He talked about this for a while, like, oh, we should do this, and you know, and then you're in our Discord, and he mentioned it, and you were like, I'm gonna do it, and we were like, all right, and then once we saw you do it, we were like, yeah, no, we're good.
Yep.
But I think my nuclear power plant is taking too much out of me right now.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. So
But this whole design thing was 2 things. One, I wanted 100% efficiency, and I also wanted to do it in a minimalist style. Okay? Which, that actually took some time just to route this stuff to the space elevator. Because I only had like 1 or 0.5 per minute going to the space elevator for the parts. So that took time. Instead of building max out the iron ore miners,
Stop it.
copper miners, and all that,
Get off of me.
I used the bare minimum I could get, and that's why I was able to get away with using just over 20,000 megawatts of power total.
Wow.
Oh.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And I did use a lot of summer sleep.
Get off of me. All right, Jake just killed me.
I see.
Oh, man. So is there anything else you guys would like to add besides me saying, Aewl, this was unbelievable, and thank you for sharing with us the build. And I would love to see what you would... We have to throw you a couple more challenges, maybe after a little while. Not just yet.
And that's the last of my ammo.
All right. And Jake, if you want to check out Jake's enormous... Jake, tell him what project you're working on right now.
No, I'm good.
Come on. Explain what you're doing.
No, I'm good.
All right. Don't explain what you're doing. Okay. So
Just
anyway,
come check it out.
Go check out Jake's channel. He's using every uranium node to make the biggest nuclear power plant imaginable. So anyway.
Yeah, you explained it simpler than I could. Thank you.
And to be honest, I think he's going to break the game. With that being said, thank you both.
I will.
And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Asshole.